Hey, what's going on everyone out there? I'm Jakejames Lugo, and welcome to the channel, where you'll find some of the most fair and honest game reviews out here. Now today we're doing something a little bit different, because we have a lot to talk about in relation to Star Wars Battlefront, the series, but also really the original game, but this series as a whole is what we're going to talk about, because man, there is a lot happening with Battlefront. The big thing right now, not only are we getting a Star Wars Battlefront collection, which is going to have this game, but also this game together with a bunch of content, but also it is the 20th anniversary of the original Star Wars Battlefront, which for many fans out there like myself, this is exciting. And what better way to celebrate the 20th anniversary than to share some of my favorite memories of playing this game, or really both of these games over the years. Again, I'm really excited about the Battlefront Classic Collection coming very soon, which is going to have a whole bunch of extra content and extra stuff to make these games even better than what they are. But I want to talk a little bit about my time growing up playing this game ever since it first came out back in 2004. The big thing that I loved about Star Wars Battlefront as its premise, and again as a series, is that it takes the idea of just reliving those famous Star Wars battles that you saw in the movies, in the cartoons, in comics, and all these other media, and putting the control in the palm of your hand to give you the ability to influence those battles and have that same level of excitement that you got when witnessing them go on. That's a big thing with Star Wars Battlefront, is that your boots on the ground in the middle of like all this crazy stuff going on, whether it's the Battle of Geonosis, the Battle of Hoth, the Battle of Endor, what's going on in the Death Star Trench Run, any of these different things. You're in those battles, you're the one taking charge and actually doing stuff to either win the day and actually relive the same level or same type of like outcome that had, or change things up depending on what side of the coin that you're on. And for me, again, playing this on the PlayStation 2, this was so much fun. Like, again, I used to play hours of these games, especially this one right here, Star Wars Battlefront 2, but going back to the original, I played so many hours of this on my PlayStation 2. I had friends that had the game on the Xbox, which years later, funny enough, I ended up getting it on the Xbox for my collection, which had extra content that I didn't have on the PlayStation 2. So there's just so many things that rush through my head when somebody starts mentioning or starts talking about Star Wars Battlefront. And again, as you could probably tell from my excitement, it's so ingrained within me. Now, speaking on the sequel, which everybody knows and loves, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is arguably one of the best Star Wars games ever made. It's up there with Knights of the Old Republic. It's up there with Rogue Squadron. It's up there with the Jedi Knight series, Jedi Academy. This game is really up there, arguably top 2 of Star Wars games ever created. The big thing is that it took what was awesome about this game and then just further enhanced it. And for me, being able to play as all the different heroes, the Jedi and the different Sith and good and bad characters that we've seen in the movies, being able to go to all these extra maps from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This game came out around the same year, around the same time that movie was in theaters. That was a big deal for many of us out here. And again, I played so many hours of this and it was just ridiculous. Just, again, going into instant action and just going through all those different maps, playing as either the Rebels or the Imperials or the Clones and the CIS, or diving into any of the other modes like Galactic Conquest, which, again, I really do hope that a lot of people jump on this and start playing more Galactic Conquest so they could talk about it a little bit more. So if there's ever a Battlefront 3 from EA, they could put that mode that was awesome in here back in there and it would be freaking sweet. But beyond that, just seeing all the extra stuff that came with this sequel was just so much fun. Again, new vehicles, new different types of like units that you can mess with, new characters you could play as, new different types of modes, and including, by the way, that whole 501st campaign, which wasn't in the original game, by the way. They only had the historical battles. But in this one, we actually got a single-player campaign, which was awesome because we got to see everything leading up from the execution of Order 66 all the way through to the Battle of Hoth. Strangely enough, this game didn't actually go into Return of the Jedi, which was the Battle of Endor. Because we were seeing it from the 501st perspective, obviously that was a bad battle for them. They had their most greatest triumph during the Battle of Hoth, which is when they actually ran out the entire Rebel Alliance from Hoth when they destroyed the shield generator. Bottom line, that's where that campaign ends, and it was still fun to play through all that stuff leading up to that point. Now, of course, there's been multiple different versions of Battlefront and Battlefront 2 over the years. Like you guys saw, I have both the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox version. And of course, I had the PSP version, which was portable Battlefront 2 on the go. I only wish that we did get Battlefront 1 as well, but by the time this came out, everybody had already moved on to this game and everybody was more excited about it. But it was still cool to have. Granted, there was a lot of limitations with the PSP version because of the controls and the hardware itself. That was a little bit annoying to deal with, but it was still Battlefront 2 on the go, and we made do. As us Star Wars fans, I have to admit, we make do and we kind of settle for things and we try to make the best of things, no matter how limited or how just overall not that great it was back in the day. We're a little spoiled now because we got a lot more quality of life stuff, but this was still fun to play with your friends, either local infrastructure or local ad hoc, I should say. Not really infrastructure for this one. That didn't come till later Battlefront games, but playing multiplayer locally with your friends or playing any of the exclusive modes, by the way, look at that. You see that there? The exclusive hunt modes and everything else, the challenges that we got from the PSP. Funny enough, all that stuff is going to be in the new Classic Collection when it comes out. And that's one thing that excites me about all this. Granted, it is the 20th anniversary of Battlefront in general, but with this new Classic Collection that's coming out for Battlefront 1 and 2, all the stuff from all these different versions, again, all these different versions all over the place, are all going to be in one spot. And to me, that makes this coming up the definitive versions of Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2. And for me and many other Star Wars fans, that's super exciting. I mean, really look at this. We're getting 64-player online modes. We're getting all the exclusive content from the original Xbox and the stuff that was on the alternate versions on the PSP, all into this one section where we could just access all that content. The game is getting a visual upgrade as far as smoothed out graphics. It's going to be so much fun. And we're going to get trophy and achievement support. Like, what more can a Star Wars Battlefront fan really ask from stuff like this? Bottom line, I'm excited. I'm really happy about this. And just looking back now at all these different games, just from playing them throughout the years, you know, the 2 Battlefront games and even the PSP version, it's just, it really brings about a lot of good memories to me. It really brings out a lot of good feelings. It makes me excited to dive back into this and feel a little bit nostalgic, and to also play with a bunch of other people online who never really experienced these games before. A lot of you out there that are probably much younger than me and everybody else that's big Star Wars fans probably weren't around, or at least not competent enough to really enjoy these games at their heyday. And now you're going to get to experience why it was so much fun for us back in the day, only now it's going to be even more fun. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, just share a little bit of my memories and my excitement for Battlefront Classic Collection. It's just, again, I cannot wait to dive into this on March 14th. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm getting it on PlayStation 5 because, as you could tell, I played these games on PlayStation even though I have the Xbox version, but these were the versions that I grew up with. So to me, Battlefront is a PlayStation franchise, at least for me, but you of course know that at some point I'm going to be playing with everybody on all the different platforms, but I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to dive into instant action first, then I'm going to hop online, then I'm going to probably go through the campaign, get those trophies. Oh my god, as you can tell, I'm really ecstatic by it, and it's just, again, I can't contain my excitement. This is going to be hype. This is going to be so much fun. But either way, those are some of my thoughts and my memories about Star Wars Battlefront. Let me know some of your thoughts about this stuff down below in the comment section. Tell me, are you a big Battlefront fan? Did you play Battlefront 1 or 2 more? What was the platform that you played these games on? Was it PlayStation 2 or the original Xbox, or were you on PC? Because I played the PC version a bunch of times, but again, I didn't grow up with that version. Some people jumped into that one a little bit later, so it's still an awesome version, especially with all the crazy mods and stuff that people do. But tell me your thoughts and your memories about these games down below in the comment section. This channel is sponsored by Flynn's Arcade and More, located in Margate, Florida. Flynn's is one of the premier spots for gaming fans in South Florida. They have a variety of arcade games on cabinet for you to play throughout the week, including all of your beloved classics. You could also play a ton of new and current console games too, on PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo consoles. Grab a snack or drink and enjoy the best gaming experience you'll find. Visit during one of their many big events to connect with the gaming community in South Florida. Want to test your skills in competitive fighting games? Join any of the weekly tournaments that happen at Flynn's for a chance for some cool prizes. And if you're into tabletop gaming or model kit building, there's a bunch of events there for you too. Swing by Flynn's Arcade and More, located in Margate Boulevard in Margate, Florida. You won't find a better spot than Flynn's.